How is it going, everybody? This is RBT coming at you. Friday questions and answers, episode 31. And yeah, I know it's on a Sunday, but man, I can't help it. This has been a really busy weekend. I do want to apologize that I've not had many videos uploaded this week. It's been a hectic week. My sister just got married yesterday, and I think I mentioned this in my my Titans recap video. I got to do this quick because I got somewhere to be soon. But I wanted to make this not have it delayed anymore. But it's been a hectic week. My sister got married, and it's so weird, man. She's lived in my house my whole life, and she's married and gone. She's actually going on her honeymoon right now. It's going to St. Lucia, which is in Ireland somewhere. I have no clue. It's but yeah, that's where they're going, and it's weird. It's gonna be hard. My mom, it makes me sad. I mean, it is emotional, but I'm worried about my mom. She's more and more about her being all upset and everything than really I am. But she's already made me kind of emotional. At least this morning, my mom did. But hey, it's part of life, and I just have to get used to it. I mean, it's gonna happen eventually. So that is that. Let's get on to this questions and answers video. I'll try to make this as fast as possible. And let me turn on this. Is this? Hold on one sec. I'm not sure if this screen brightness is. It is all the way. Let me turn my. If you guys can wait a second, let me turn my light on. The screen brightness was. There we go. It was looking kind of off. All right. Let's go. Sports and outdoors. 86465 asks thoughts on Clemson. Yeah, they're looking good. I'm not sure if they're really the third best team in the country, but they look good. Their offense looks pretty good. They look sluggish against NC State. They very easily could have lost if it wasn't for that, which I believe was a missed call on that Taquan Underwood 80-something yard touchdown run. I thought he was in bounds, but hey, it happens. They still got the win. It'll come down to the Florida State game, I believe. I'm not sure at year's end if they'll be able to beat South Carolina, but I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, they have the talent to. And I mean, it's hard to believe they will because they've always found that one game where they lose, which takes them out of the national championship picture. So, I mean, it's really down to a 2-game season: Florida State and South Carolina. If they can win those two, who knows what could happen? And he asked, "Would you sub to me?" Yes, probably I will. Let me check your channel after this video. Razorback 1995 asked, what is your biggest amount of trouble you've ever been in? I've already have I already? I haven't done this video already, have I? For some reason, these questions, I'm thinking I've already asked these questions, answered these questions before, but no, I don't think I have. What's the biggest amount of trouble you've ever been in? I've never really been in trouble, really. I don't know. I really can't think of any incident where I've really been in trouble. I'm sorry. I have no clue. I'm a good person. Never really done anything wrong, so I don't really know anything to answer there. Keaton DeBoard. I think he already asked this question last video, but he says, "Do you follow basketball?" Yeah, to a point. I mean, I like the Celtics. I watch them a little bit. But I don't. I follow basketball, college basketball more, especially their March Madness. I'm an Alabama fan in basketball and in football, and I'm also like the school that I go to, South Alabama. I watch them too, but I follow it, but not as much as football or baseball. Not 242 asks, what is your opinion on the outcome of Oregon versus Tennessee? What do you think the outcome would be of an Oregon versus Alabama matchup? Oh God. The outcome of Oregon-Tennessee. Oregon, they're a great team. We all know that, but they do this year in and year out. They beat teams. If you're not a great team, you're going to get blown out by Oregon. If you're just average, you're still going to get blown out by Oregon. Oregon beats everybody that's not on par with them by a million. Now, when you play a team that's good, like a Stanford that has a good defense, that is physical, they always play close. I mean, sometimes they win those games, but I mean, they very easily could lose those games. So it doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, you put Oregon against 110 teams. Out of 125 teams, I think 110 teams out of 125, Oregon can beat by 50. I mean, that's just how it is. Other 15 will give them some trouble, but I think Oregon's by far better than Tennessee, and not as much as they are against other teams like whoever they played week one, the FCS schools they played. But they're obviously better than Tennessee, and that was shown by the final score. And what do you think the outcome of Alabama versus Oregon would be? God, it's hard to answer this because I'm an Alabama fan, and it's hard to say because I mean we haven't really found our identity yet. I know we've won. We've probably had the best win so far in the country against Texas A&M, but we have looked kind of sluggish against Virginia Tech week one. We looked good week two versus Texas A&M on offense. Our defense looked bad. Then yesterday against Colorado State, we looked bad offensively and sometimes defensively too. But hey, a win's a win, and I think out of the 115, 125 teams, Alabama would be a team to be able to definitely play hard against Oregon. It'd be a tough fought game, and I don't want to sit here and say an outcome, but it would be very close, and either team could win, and it'd be back and forth all game. That's all I can say about that. Buckeye fan 2013 says, which of the freshman quarterbacks do you think will be a first round? Which of the freshman quarterbacks do you think will be first round draft picks in the future? Out of Max Brown, Shane Morris, Tyrone Swoops, Bryce Ramsey, Cooper Bateman, or Christian Hackenberg? As an Alabama fan, I honestly am not all that astounded about Cooper Bateman, so I put him out of the mix. Max Brown, possibly. Shane Morris. Okay, let me just get through the list. I'd say Christian Hackenberg, Max Brown, and Tyrone Swoops. Because I know Tyrone Swoops, some people say was underrated, and he dropped from like the number one quarterback in the country, and he dropped like 20 points or 30 spots like in the overall rankings. But I still think he's going to be the savior of Texas football. I really do. He's an outstanding quarterback, and I think he's going to be. I can't go ahead and say he's going to be like Vince Young, but it's going to be similar play style. He's so comparable to Vince Young. It's insane. I think if they need one specific player to bring them back on the map, there you go. Okay. Patrick Bama 1234 asked. He says, "Yeah, it sucks when you get only 4 hours of sleep." Anyway, were you shocked at the Fordham versus Temple turnout? Fordham goes 3-0 and Temple falls to 0-3. Another question. September 28th, the epic battle of two possibly worst teams in the college football. Let's all give a quack for Temple and Idaho. Who do you predict to have the upper hand in that matchup? Yeah, I was kind of shocked. I thought Temple would struggle in this game, but I thought they were definitely going to win. But they didn't. Fordham went out and beat them. I'm not sure what Fordham did yesterday. But yeah, it really did shock me. I mean, I know Temple's not the cream of the crop in the AAC, but I still thought any AAC team should be able to beat Fordham, and that argument's kind of invalid week one when South Florida lost to McNeese State by 30 points, but still thought Temple should have won. And to answer your second question, I think Temple should beat Idaho. Idaho is horrible. I know Temple's not a good team, but Idaho, there's a difference between not a good team and horrible, and Idaho is horrible, so I think Temple should win. And that will be next weekend. That game would happen. He also asked, Braxton Miller did not play against Cal. Worst case scenario, for some reason, he does not play the rest of the season. Do you think Buckeyes could still have a shot at the national title game with Kenny Guyton as the quarterback? He looked alright versus Cal, and it's just a scenario. I know Braxton will play later. Yeah, yesterday, Ohio State played Florida A&M, and he looked very good, but I know it's hard to gauge a quarterback playing at Florida A&M. But he broke the Buckeyes record for touchdown passes in a game in the first half, which is still impressive. But yeah, he looks good. I mean, he's a senior, I believe. I mean, he's waited his time. He's finally getting playing time. I know it's because of injury, but he's making most of it. And if he did, I think they'd have a shot. I'm not sure if they'd get there, but they'd have a shot, definitely. I mean, it's not like they drop off tremendously with him at quarterback. I mean, they're still a very productive offense with him at quarterback. And as long as they're a productive offense, they have a shot. Drew and Caitlin ask, have you noticed that the big receivers for Alabama, Julio Jones and Amari Cooper, haven't and didn't play well once they got big publicity they started dropping passes? And what do you think about Ole Miss this year? And what do you think about Cooper Bateman, Reuben Foster, and D. Liner, who is being redshirted this year? Okay, the first question. Yeah, I think the publicity does get to him a little bit. I mean, it is hard to live up to expectations being young. I mean, he's only a year older than me. I'm 18. He's only, so that means he's either 19 or 20. And I mean, that's young. I mean, I know if I was somebody playing college football and I had that much um, help around me, hyping me up as somebody to go into the NFL, I would feel some pressure. And I mean, he'll be okay over time. Give him a little bit of time, and he'll be okay. I mean, Julio Jones obviously ended up being okay. I mean, one of the best receivers in the NFL right now. Uh, Ole Miss is legitimate. They're a very good team. I think they're gonna give us. There's two games I'm really worried about the rest of the season. It's Ole Miss next week, LSU later in the season, which hopefully I'm gonna be going to. But Ole Miss is legit, and they will give us all the trouble in the world. I kind of compared this game to the Texas A&M game last year. Nobody was really worried about Texas A&M. I was. I knew they had a great offense. They were really questionable how good they actually were until we played them. So I think it'll be an evenly matched game, and I'll be scared as crap. But I think Ole Miss really can really have a shot to finish either second or third in the SEC West, because I do think they're very good. And what do you think about Cooper Bateman, Reuben Foster, and D. Liner, who's being redshirted this year? Reuben Foster, honestly, I don't believe he's getting redshirted. I think he's actually had some playing time so far. D. Liner, Cooper Bateman, yeah, he's getting redshirted, and D. Liner. I think D. Liner will be okay. I think he's more of a pass rusher, a pass rushing threat than we've had in years past. So it'll be a different pace when he gets in there. But I think he'll end up being a solid player. Cooper Bateman, like I said before, I think he was a little bit overrated. But hey, I mean, we have 7 quarterbacks competing for the job next year. I do believe the one quarterback that steps up and starter, I mean, will obviously have to be good somewhat. I mean, you got 6, 7 highly recruited quarterbacks who are coming in that have big arms, very good. So, I mean, one of them have to step up and end up being a good quarterback, I believe. So, if it's him, it's him. And Reuben Foster, I think, will end up being an absolute beast. And I believe he's already played some this year. Okay, good thing. Your other question was flagged as spam. I had to mark it as not spam. How do you feel about the NCAA game in the SEC and Big Ten? Wait. How do you feel about the NCAA game and the SEC and Big Ten not allowing them to use copyrighted items? Who do you think is the best chance to win the Heisman, and what's college like? Because I'm interested in becoming a sports analyst and doing the same major as you. I have no clue what the SEC and Big Ten not allowing them to use copyrighted items. I've not heard about that, but I think the NCAA games will be the same. I've heard about the NCAA not letting them use their name anymore, but it would be the same. It's going to be called College Football 2014 or 2015. So I think it'll be the same game, just a different name. Who has the best chance right now to win the Heisman? Marcus Mariota. I'm actually writing an article about that for my paper, the newspaper. This coming week, my top 5 Heisman candidates so far, and he's gonna be number 1. And what's college like? It's different. Definitely, it's awesome having the flexibility and the openness compared to high school, where you had to be somewhere, you had something. You're just really flexible with your time, but you have to spend that time wisely. Everybody will tell you that's been in college. Time management is the most important thing. Managing everything in your life, and it's difficult to a point, but I'm doing fine right now. It's not that bad. It's just a lot more reading, and I know when homework assignments and having to study for tests in high school, you really don't get motivated to. But when you get into college, I didn't think this would be the case, but I'm actually really motivated to do well, because I mean, whatever you're doing, high school doesn't matter. ACT score matters. It really does. Or if you take the SAT, getting into college is all that matters. And once you get to college, though, man, that does matter, because this is your future. I mean, based on what you do in college, major in, that's how you're going to live the rest of your life. So it just motivates me to know that what I'm doing now is going to affect how well I live in the future. So you'll have that internal motivation that will really help you study, read when you have to, and all that. So it's nice. Okay, Hambone694 asks, how do you feel about Blake Bell's outstanding performance against Tulsa this past week, which was not yesterday, but the week before? That's why I hate doing these videos late, because then a lot of people ask me questions about like similar to these. And I'm sorry, but sometimes things are more important than videos. But and now what looks like a really good offense for OU and with a stellar defense to go along with it? How much more has the sooner chances of winning the Big 12, maybe even winning an all improved? Thanks for answering as always, and Boomer Sooner. Oh man, I've even talked to a couple of my friends about this. That they really did shock me how big of a difference, how better they looked under Blake Bell. I mean that was insane, and I really do understand what you're saying. Their defense looked extremely good the first couple weeks with a not so good offense. Now you bring in Blake Bell in the mix, going against the Tulsa team, which isn't bad, and lighting it up. That really does improve their chances. I thought Oklahoma was gonna have their worst year in a very long time until like Bell goes in there, so that just drastically, I think that single-handedly that move right there makes Oklahoma from week 2 to 3 or whatever week it was, 2 to 3 I believe, the most improved team out of all of college football right there. And I think right now they may seriously be the team to beat in the Big 12. Winning it all, we'll have to wait and see because I mean it was Tulsa, but I mean they do look very much improved. But I still have to see Oklahoma against a good team, which will happen next week against Notre Dame, which I do think they'll win. But winning it all, I'm not sure just yet. But winning the Big 12, that's a great possibility. But they do look a lot improved, and I'm ready to see them against a good team like Notre Dame. Oh God, Mega UGA dogs. What's your prediction? LSU versus Texas A&M. I'm not honestly sure when this game happens. But man, I don't know. Can I leave this short? Can I make it a short prediction? I think I'd say LSU. But frick, man, I don't know. That's very tough. I really don't even want to predict that game. I just want to watch. That's going to be an awesome game. We'll have to see how. I want to see how LSU can do against Georgia this week, really, before putting a prediction out there, because we know how Texas A&M looks against top competition in Alabama. So we have to see how LSU looks against top competition in Georgia. But I think I would say Zach Mannenberger, that defense. I mean, Mannenberger really has improved. But I mean, I think that really has compensated for the defensive struggles of LSU. I believe they are not a good defense. Well, they're still a good defense, but not as good as they were last year and years past. But they still get it done. But I think that Zach Mannenberger improvements really compensated and even that out right there. But I do think they'd win close, like the Alabama Texas A&M game. Merce PS3 asks, what are your early season BCS Bowl predictions? Okay. National Championship. Right now, I wish I could say Louisville, but I have to go with Oregon right now. I'll go Oregon versus Alabama in the National Championship. Sugar Bowl. LSU versus Louisville. Orange Bowl. Man. Orange Bowl. Clemson versus. Man. Clemson versus. Oh, Fresno State. There we go. That's where Fresno State goes. Fiesta Bowl. Stanford versus Northwestern. Give Northwestern a shot there. And then Rose Bowl. Rose Bowl. Wait. No. Fiesta Bowl. No. Stanford not. This is hard to think on top of my head. Stanford, no. Take that out. What the heck did I just say? The Fiesta Bowl. No. Fiesta Bowl. Oklahoma, my bad. Oklahoma versus. Man. That's I think Oklahoma versus Northwestern. That's where that would come into place, I believe. And then the Rose Bowl. There we go. Stanford versus Ohio State. Sorry about that. That's hard to think of all those in my head. Okay, hopefully I answered that question. Maybe that wasn't too stupid. Spotown Twigs asked big surprises in the Pac-12. Washington, that's a surprise top of my head. I know early in the preseason, if you watch on my videos, I was really high in Arizona. I think Arizona, if there's one team in the country to come out and shock the whole entire country and be a BCS Bowl contender, to be Arizona, just because their schedule sets up. But we'll have to see if that prediction comes true this week. They have Washington, which is after a bye week, so we'll have to see. But That's really been a surprise. Washington State has been a surprise at some point, competing with Auburn week 1. They've won every game since then, so that's been a surprise. With the way Oregon still, I mean, I'm not really surprised by that, but I think the national conception is that they're surprised at how Oregon really hasn't dropped off whatsoever. Maybe even looked a little bit better than last year. How USC has done so horrible with their especially quarterback play, even though they've got better. They beat Utah State, which I thought Utah State was going to win, but that was close by 3 points. And they beat Boston College pretty handily the week before. They're improving a little bit, but it's still nowhere near where USC needs to be just because of the poor quarterback play. So that's been a surprise. And that might actually be it. I think Utah is playing a little bit better than I expected. UCLA, they're right where I expected them to be. And that's really about it. Kind of was surprised, I think you say single game wise, that Oregon State lost Eastern Washington, but that's about it really. Mega UGA Dogs ask, are you a Christian? If so, Catholic, Baptist, or Methodist? I'm a Christian and Methodist. Well, it's the Big Show 97. Can you sub to my channel? By the way, Roll Tide. Yes, I will. Let me check it in just a second. Hopefully, I don't forget to do that. This video is running really long. Kornak Shuiti. I don't know how to say your name. If you hear this, comment below and let me know how to pronounce your name, because I don't want to seem stupid like I have been. He asked, is it hard to find college opportunities in sports journalism? And you think Georgia has the best SEC team after Bama and the SEC? College opportunities, not really. I mean, it's really about how good you are and how you know who you know. Because the way I got on my college paper is because, well, I took initiative. You got to try to get involved early. I really wanted to write for the paper, and so I figured out any possible way to do so. Got in touch with some people. They turned my name over to the sports editor of the paper, and I sent them. I wrote before for a website, and he said that very rarely do I sent him some of the articles that I wrote on that website about college football, and very rarely do people come into college with experience like I did. So get a start early, have a resume at some point, and you can very easily get a job like that. Because going into college, if you already have experience, they'll be completely shocked and want you on board just like that. Because I mean, somebody coming out of high school with experience compared to somebody with no experience, they definitely want you on board. And I haven't been able to write as much as I wanted to, but hopefully I get an article out this week. Like I said, I'm doing hopefully the top 5 Heisman picks this week. I mean, it really is hard right now with everything going on, trying to balance my time. But I mean, it's it's gone by really fast. I mean, it's already been a month. So our midterms actually come up in a few weeks. Wow. And I've only had like one test, and I haven't even had a test yet in history. I've had a couple quizzes, but no test. I had one test in Geo. One test. I only have one test in each class. They hardly have any tests really in classes. But wow, how did I get on that? But and you think Georgia's the best team in the SEC after Bama? No, I honestly don't. Georgia might be third, maybe third, just maybe. I'll have to see though this week. If they beat LSU, they could be the second best team, but I think LSU is going to take them this week. But as of right now, I have Alabama, LSU, Georgia, A&M / Ole Miss. But that could be changed this week. If Georgia wins, I would have them probably as the second best SEC team. We'll have to see though. And Davin A5 AV6. How long is the video? My video prediction. My annual prediction of how long the video is by the time I'm recording it is like 22 minutes, 24. God, why do these videos go so long, man? How do you think Trent will do with the Colts? I think he has a shot. I mean, he has a good offensive line now, a good quarterback, a good offense, good coaching staff, a good team. So, man, I think he's going to do a lot better. He had such a bad experience with the Browns. I mean, horrible offensive line. They were crowding the box all the time because Brandon Weeden, whoever was playing quarterback for the Browns, was no threat to beat teams in the secondary. So they're always crowding the box, no O-line. I mean, he's not the fastest running back, so he never got big gains, but that wasn't just his fault. And you see the first carry as a Colt got a touchdown. I'm watching the game right now. So I think it will overall just be a lot better. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. Roll Tide, go Sox, and go Titans to you. And like I forgot to say this at the beginning, like I always do, if you want to be featured in this series, leave a question in the comment section below, and you'll be featured next week in episode 32. This is 31, I believe. So have a great day, guys. Roll Tide. I just said that frick. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/S3RTR. And I'll catch you guys later. I gotta go. Peace.